And welcome to the Confound Millennial, starring Steven Sturvin Michaels and Ryan Diamonds, and featuring a good little friend of ours. I hear Diamonds actually really fucking hates this guy.
I
I
might
really
log out.
fucking love this guy. But either way, Mr. Jonathan for Reels.
Hi, I just want to say that you've really upped the production value on this fine program.
Thank you. I was actually
Nice.
very excited to show you.
Yes, it was an experience. I wanted to come on the show just to watch that opening video, and now that I've done that, I have no reason to be here.
That's fine.
All right,
Bye
I'll see you.
bye.
All right, Ryan. So what's going on?
Not much, man.
No,
Oh, really?
this is Mr. Jonathan for Reels, politician, comedian, showman,
Politician, yes.
DJ,
Producer.
karaoke DJ,
Director.
producer, actor, porn star. Wait,
That's.
I
I
wasn't
mean, I
supposed
do
to.
have the mustache. I do have the mustache. Yeah. So.
You can start going by Jonathan Catfish Randy for reals.
Yeah, normally I tell people not to say that I'm a politician, even though I'm running for office, but I have been asking for a lot of donations from people, and I think that is the number one qualifier. You have to have a tie, and you have to beg for money constantly, and that makes you a politician. So
You
I
have a
think
tie?
I qualify.
You do.
Oh,
You have a tie?
I'm not wearing a tie today because I need to look accessible to the millennial audience. So we're wearing a T-shirt that is a wrestling style political T-shirt. As a throwback.
Nice.
I like it. And what does it say? We
I
can
I don't
only
think
see
he
half of
understands
it.
it. He just wears it.
I don't
Kids
understand it.
understand.
Yeah, the kids get it. No, it's a parody of the New World Order from '90s wrestling, but it's the Libertarian
Well-
Party of Alabama.
Sweet.
Too sweet.
Dude, I feel so old now. I feel like millennial is an ancient term now. I've got a new partner, and there's just a 4 year difference, but they hang out with people younger than them. So, like, we're all the time, like, her cousin is 16 and calls us all the time, called me a Gen X. And, like, we had to freaking explain to him what a memory card was. Not a floppy
So,
disk, a memory card.
so you're talking about you're dealing with Zoomers at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah, these Zoomers these days.
They're
These
great.
Zoomer. Yeah.
But like I feel so old talking to the cousin. I'm like, what in the hell? But either way, millennial just it's become to mean something different to me because they're like I don't know, people are always mocking me for my old millennial knees and my back cracking like a glow stick.
And you just eat your avocado toast one bite at a time, just like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Actually
God.
sounds really good. I've never had avocado toast for a millennial.
I feel like should have been the first episode of this. Is you just do all the stereotypical millennial things of scarfing down avocado toast and not having a job.
Yeah. Well, I got one of those.
Give me
Um,
attention.
Um, so you're on the younger side of the millennial spectrum, and I would say Diamonds is like a elder millennial, and I'm
I don't.
like right
Am
smack
I?
dab in the middle, right? I feel like
I
that's
am the
about right.
youngest. I am the cutoff year of millennials, actually,
Well,
94.
I train a lot of people for my job, and a lot of them are younger. And I feel like millennial is such a broad term. If that's gonna encompass an age group, that I meet certain ones that fit the description that everybody thinks of, and then I meet some that are just as ready to work as I am. Like it's really strange. It's such a weird. I don't like
What's the
millennial.
what's the cutoff year on each
No idea.
side? Do you know?
No
I
Start
think
idea.
it's 94 or 93 on the younger side,
on the younger side. Okay.
and I'm not quite sure about the older. But the thing about like what Diamonds was saying is like millennial, like it's such a broad term, not because, like, okay, any other generation up until millennials pretty much had the same like childhoods, raising, historical events, but with the introduction of technology that changes so damn fast.
Well, I mean, we still had a lot of the same kind of I don't know, childhood where we played outside and did all that stuff, but then all of a sudden, like, we got introduced to like this new special thing, like, you can stay inside and you can do this computer stuff, right? And we're like, ooh, that does sound fun. And video games and stuff. That
Well,
that was all kind of introduced in our generation.
we got a
Like,
Nintendo when I was 5, so that was 1988, and I didn't have a computer or AOL until I was 14. So I don't understand how that. I'm like in that spot where I'm just confused by it all.
yeah.
Like it all makes sense, but I was raised by older people, so in a way, I just don't understand it.
And I almost fit
This
in
whole
with the
show is
Zoomer
on
crowd.
Diamond's original computer. Like, this is what it is streamed off of.
What was the first Windows? That's what I had.
Yeah.
I had
This
one
is
like
on
that
Windows
too.
3.1.
Is like the thing is we were always getting like old technology as our first stuff whenever the new shit was out. Like I remember the year that well, I don't know if it was the year whenever my friends were getting Nintendo 64s, I got a Super Nintendo because the price dropped.
Yeah,
Same.
I was the same way, but I didn't realize it. I thought Super Nintendo had just come out.
Me
But
too.
I was very wrong.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I got you ever play that Super Nintendo Classic? The one with 20 games programmed in it?
I have not purchased one of those. I want
Dude,
to, but
up
just
until
for the controller. But I still have my original Super Nintendo, so I don't really have a need for it.
I do too.
nice. Up until the until Christmas, I finally got my PlayStation back, and I didn't have internet until last month. All I fucking had was the Super Nintendo. So I've been rocking Link to the Past. But
You
now I'm
play it?
like,
Does it have Donkey Kong on it?
yes.
Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. That was the peak of technology.
Oh yeah, it's never gotten better since then.
Mm-mm.
And dude, I'm in a nerds group on Facebook, and we were
No,
talking about the like the
say that
best
so.
video game soundtracks,
Mm.
and then somebody dropped Donkey Kong Country in there, and everybody's like, "All right, we'll go home." And like anybody that posted anything else was like, "I feel disrespectful posting this after Donkey Kong Country."
Which Donkey Kong Country though? Because I mean, all three
The
of those
original.
games are bangers.
It was
I don't know.
Smash.
specifically the song where he's like riding a dolphin underwater in the first one.
I mean, that one's in the second one as well, but I'm very partial to Donkey Kong Country 2.
Really.
I mean, it's got some, but maybe I'm more partial to the gameplay. But I feel like there's some updates to it that the first one didn't have. Some gameplay ease of access, but the game's not easy at all. It's just I don't know. I think that was the peak. Donkey Kong 2. Donkey Kong
So,
3 was good, but Donkey Kong 2.
so speaking of Donkey Kong, this has nothing to do with Donkey Kong. Last time you were on, I
Sure.
think you were here with your buddy Spike, right?
Spikle, yes.
Yeah, Spike. Was it? Man, that was long ago. I was in the rehab.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. It has been that long. Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't able, like, I was hinting at shit because I hadn't had my court shit. Uh, think how long ago that was? I finally went to court over that a month and a half ago.
That's bananas. Yeah.
It took
Donkey
over
Kong
a year and a
reference.
half to finally have the court over that shit.
Yeah, speedy trial. That's what we're supposed to have, right?
Yeah,
They definitely gave you one.
There's a pandemic, y'all.
They can do. Listen, we're on a Windows 3.1 computer right now, having a full-on video conference. I think that they can probably pull off having a
That's
Zoom
the fucking
trial.
thing. That's the thing is, you know what? I'm a bitch about this for.
Oh,
Up.
I haven't been able to bitch about it. Am I back?
Yep, you're
yes.
back.
Okay, if you didn't hear me, I said I was going to bitch about something.
Let's hear it.
So one thing, like I was trying for months to get my public defender to ask if they would get a Zoom call for court, so I didn't have to go from Kentucky down to Georgia, 6.5 hours
Right.
without a car. And dude, they kept saying it's probably too late to ask, but I'll ask for 3 months. And finally, we get there, and dude, I got so pissed. I got up to the bench, and I saw it was all set up for Zoom, and I was like, "Fuck!" But nah, dude, I ended up.
Wait. So, here's they were giving you a runaround about having a Zoom call, and then had you come in, and they were set up for the Zoom call. Is that what?
Yeah, like they weren't set up to do a Zoom call, but they had the camera, they had the computers, they had all the setup, but they
I would
weren't
have went out to
participating.
the lobby and said, "I'm doing this by Zoom."
Dude, I fucking should have. It
Or
was
go.
like
McDonald's has free Wi-Fi. You could have gone to McDonald's, got on the free Wi-Fi, had a whole ass Zoom call
the
trial.
whole thing was backwards from the moment I talked to the cops, the night I got arrested, to now. Still, um, they. I don't know if I told you exactly what had happened.
So you hadn't. You gave me like a kind of a generic rundown without any type of incriminating evidence or things that could get you in any further trouble. And so I'm not fully familiar with the entire situation, but it seems like now you're able to talk about everything. So
Yes,
okay,
I'm going to try to make it quick, not bore you with all the details.
sure,
But so my parents and I, very tense situation all the time. Uh, they just crazy as shit. I hope they hear that. But either way, so
Viewers.
yeah, I don't care. But
if you're out there
so
watching right now, make sure to send this link to Sturvin's parents.
do it. But either way, my mom and I got in a fight. I had honestly, I had a drinking problem, really bad. I was getting shit faced. Uh, a buddy of mine named Willie Fred was having me on a show and to
I
do
know
these
that
drink
guy.
offs, and people thought I was insane drinking like these 8 steel reserves, but I was almost doing that every fucking night, like regardless of that
And
show.
still didn't beat Ryan Diamonds.
He still
I was
didn't do it.
drinking like 3 4 locos to get started a night, like for a year. But either way, my parents didn't know that. Um, but and I had to live with them for a little bit. Right at the start of COVID, my landlord had raised rent by $300. So I was like, fuck this, I'm living in my car. And I ended up in a pottery shop that my parents owned in the woods. And so I was going to try to stop drinking. I had stopped for a couple days, and then my old middle school best friend offed himself. So
Oof.
I got
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
drunk,
yeah.
and I went in to talk to my mom for a minute, and my little brother was just being crazy. I love him, but I told him, have some manners. He was telling me everything he was going to do on my computer without asking if he could use it. I was like, ask first, buddy. And
Right.
he was like, I mean, my mom just went off because she could tell I was drunk, and she always starts fights with everything. So skipping over it, I'm just trying to set up the story here. Um, my mom goes crazy, starts screaming. I'm drunk, so I scream back. And because I'm drunk and because of their religious trauma, they viewed me as a threat. They're like, he's drunk, he's crazy, he's gonna hit me, which I wouldn't have. Um, but she called my dad to come like physically fight me. Long story short, he pulls a gun on me. So I fucking get in the car, call the cops, start driving. I tell them the short brief of what's going on, and they tell me to pull over at the top of the subdivision that I had just passed. So I pop a Yui and then immediately see blue lights behind me for popping that Yui. They were right there. And so they think they're pulling me over for that when I'm in reality coming to meet them. And they breathalyzed me, all that good stuff. I blew under the legal limit because it had been a while since I was drinking.
Right.
I was coming down. But in Georgia and 3 other states, there's a special law called DUI less safe. That is when you blow under the legal limit, but the cop still says you're drunk. So they take me in for 13 days because my parents wouldn't tell anybody I was in there. And because of COVID, all the court stuff was pushed back. So if you don't get bailed out, you're just in there.
So take me back to this law. You were under the limit, and there's
Yes.
a law that says they can still arrest you for DUI even though you blew
Yes.
under the limit.
Yes.
This is the first I'm hearing of this, and that
In
is
4
fucking,
states.
that's fucking stupid.
It's DUI less safe.
That's without getting on a political rant, that is nothing but just a way to trap people in a system.
Yeah.
Is all that is.
And
You should read it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
and skipping forward, I mean, I'll cover a little bit, but
Appearance and or demeanor.
yeah. So
That's
here's the
pretty
Wow.
broad.
Yeah.
appearance
that's very
and
broad.
demeanor. I was already pissed. My dad pulled a gun on me. My mom was fighting with me, and the cop that pulled me over was the father of my friend's rapist.
Ugh.
And so he knew me, called me Sturvin, and started going off on me, and I was pissed, and I said something I shouldn't have. I told him,
come on now.
I know.
Come
I
on,
told him,
man.
I was like, I didn't think you could be a cop if you raised a rapist.
That'll do it. I mean,
That'll do it.
That'll definitely do it. But
I mean,
it's
it
fine.
shouldn't be that way,
You know.
but yeah, you asked for it.
You
I know I did. That was, in my opinion, the only thing I did wrong that night.
You should have known better. You can raise a rapist. You can also be a rapist while you're a cop.
Yeah,
So, you know.
but sadly, that was probably, I wasn't drunk. I obviously didn't blow on the breathalyzer, but I was obviously drunk enough to say that. So
I think, I mean, I don't know. You might have said that in a
I might have
sober
said
state.
that sober, man.
Yeah.
I probably would have said that sober. I ain't got
I mean, I feel like
I got
I feel
respect
like-
for cops, but not that guy.
you could have probably called in some character witnesses, being like, "Listen, Sturvin he would have said that sober. He's kind of an asshole." And they would have, yeah, you could have made that your entire case is this had nothing to do with intoxication. I would have said this anyway.
There's Steven and Sturvin. You met Sturvin.
Yeah.
I mean, he was calling me Sturvin. He walked up to the car and he's like, Sturvin, what are you doing?
Sounds like he asked for it.
He was asking for it.
And I immediately started first naming
Wow.
him, and he didn't like it. I'm like, if you're going to nickname me, I'm not going to call you officer or sir.
Yeah. He was asking for it. They started it. They started it.
But either way, funny little things, or not funny, but things I think I might have mentioned when you and Spikel were on. Yeah, they didn't let me go to my first court date. And they wouldn't give me my mental health meds for over a week while I was in there.
Yeah, you did mention that. Um,
It was about probably the 10th day when they got them to me, which was good because, in all honesty, that was the lowest point in my life. And trigger warning, I was ready to end it. Like, I knew how, I was ready.
Most daddy.
Yeah. And it was just whenever some fucked up shit happens, I text Diamonds and tell him that he's just like, more daddy. Text him the other day, I was like, most daddy. It's worse.
It could
But
always get worse.
yeah, they wouldn't
yeah,
give me my meds. And I remember talking to you about that because Spike got pissed.
yeah,
And he was
absolutely.
talking about people dying in jail because they
Yeah,
don't give them meds.
yeah, it's yeah. I'm trying to keep this episode light, but you're making it very difficult there,
Oh,
Sturpin.
I
Dude,
got one. My dad got arrested, and they wouldn't let him take his heart meds, and he was on the brink of a heart attack. And I
oh,
went up there trying to help, but they chased me out of the prison, jail, whatever. What prison?
Right.
I'll actually tell you,
I
Jonathan,
feel like
I'm
that's a
saying this
lawsuit
story,
waiting to happen.
a
In a
lawsuit, yeah.
small town? You think you'd win in a small town?
Yeah, you don't win in the small town. You just keep taking it to a higher court until you
If you
just
got the money, right?
you could find the right lawyer who'd be just
I,
jumping in at wanting to take somebody to school, make an entire career out of it.
I
I
won't take
mean,
your money till we win.
yeah. There's
Oh
there's
yeah,
people that will absolutely take cases like that. I mean, not giving somebody their heart medicine while they're having a heart attack. Is that what you said?
no, he thought he was, but
I thought he
if you
was.
didn't take it every once in a while, it was
Sure.
a situation, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I'm actually telling this story so you can get political if you would
Okay.
Oh,
like. But, because I'm going to talk about some silly, goofy shit after this. I just wanted to get
yeah.
through this.
Well, I mean, uh, this is it's. Well, I'll try to keep it brief, like you said, and so that was 23 minutes. So I'll try to keep it around the same time with my
Holy
response.
shit.
So uh, this is a prime example of why we need to end the system of qualified immunity for anybody who is out there in the Confound Millennial universe. I don't know what you call the fandom universe. What are they called,
Our
sir?
hoe bags.
The hoe bags. Any of you hoe bags out there?
The
If you're
echelon.
not,
Oh no, that's
if you're
another thing.
any, this one goes out to all the hoe bags in the balcony. If you're not familiar with what qualified immunity is, qualified immunity is a system that was put in place back during the civil rights movement that kept police officers immune from consequences when they violated people's rights. They could claim that they were just doing their job. Um, this is a prime example of why that system needs to go away. The idea of I was just doing my job and that shields you from any consequences whenever you fuck up is that's not what the system is supposed to be. It's not what you know. Uh, it's not how it would be with us. Like for instance, all right. So this I'm gonna tell this story because Diamonds is on here, and I've been itching to tell this story. So whenever I was a kid, I loved pizza, and
Mm-mm.
I would go and get pizza every single day. I would beg. Well, I wouldn't always get the pizza, but I would beg for pizza every single day. And I would go to this restaurant, and I can't tell you the name of the restaurant for fear of consequences, but they definitely liked pizza so much that they say it twice. And so I would go get pizza, and I one day I went. It was next to the Kmart, and they were closed. And they weren't just closed for the day, they were closed for good. And I didn't understand why, and I was a little kid, and my parents wouldn't tell me why. And then I heard them talking, and somebody had been urinating on the pizza. And they of course closed down the restaurant.
I did the
They were
same thing.
they were putting the pee in pizza. And so they got closed down. Years later, I loved pizza so much that I used to work at a restaurant called Shakey's. I worked there. Oh, shouldn't have said the name of the
Really?
restaurant. I worked there with Diamonds, and there was one day that
You caught me peeing on the pizza.
and I didn't catch Diamond's peeing on a pizza. But I was working the oven, cutting pizza as it came out. It was a real busy day, and a few police officers came in. There was a guy who was making pizza. As I'm cutting the pizza, he sees me getting ready to slice it and says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and stops me and doesn't let me cut the pizza. And he goes, let me handle this. He cuts the pizza, puts the pizza up in the window, and is like, "I spit in that pizza. Covered it in spit. There's some cops here." And I was like, well, I cannot let this pizza go out to anyone. So I see another pizza that comes out and change out the pizza, and I covertly make another pizza and put it in the oven so that way it doesn't cause a scene. And I never let the pizza go out. So the thing is like, I didn't think about this until later. I thought that I'd solved the problem because I never told anybody about it. I didn't let the pizza go out. But how many more times do you think that happened?
It wasn't me.
It was not Diamonds. It was not Diamonds. I could name names if I wanted to. But how many times do you think that exact situation happened and I was not the person cutting the pizza? And that's the same thing with police officers. There's always, if you ask a police officer and you could actually get them to be honest, they know that one dickhead that works with them. Everybody knows the one guy who's an asshole. There's always one, no matter who you are, no matter what line of work you're in. They know for a fact that person has done something they're not supposed to, and they probably didn't tell anybody, and they tell themselves like, well, I stopped them that one time.
Or if I told on them.
Or if I told on them what was going to happen, am I going to get in trouble? You know what I mean? And that's...
Especially if I told on them, what are they going to say about me?
Right, that as well. And that's where I think you have to, like, we as a society kind of like tell ourselves like, oh, well, the good cops will catch the bad cops. But in reality, it's not really that cut and dry. And if you just removed that protective barrier that creates the system where you have to have the police police the police, if you took that barrier away and allowed the system itself, the average person to take a claim against a police officer and take it to court and have that I was just doing my job defense completely off the table, you would have a fairer system where people would be held accountable because you'd be able to hold them accountable. They would absolutely hold you accountable if you were the guy pissing on the pizza.
Well,
But
what
they
happens
won't-
if you told on the guy peeing on the pizza? Is there a tribunal of other employees
Of
that are friends with that guy that
Right.
would not, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's not so cut and dry. Like, we have a system that fixes that. It's hard to have something in place to make it easy. Nothing's easy.
Nothing's easy.
Not anything now at all, especially with what you're talking about. Because everybody's buddy, or they're
Sure.
not, but everybody's friends with somebody, and then you're thrown under the table. I mean, I'm not
Well,
trying to make problems.
no.
I'm just
You're absolutely right. It's not to say that if qualified immunity is gone, it's going to fix all of the problems. But taking that defense off the table of
see.
I was just doing my job. No, show what your job was. Like, show what you were doing, explain your reasoning, and if it was not a reasonable thing to do and you violated someone's rights, then you were in the wrong. But just take that defense off the table.
And I saw
that's a
some on
start.
the internet.
I like that.
That's a start, yeah.
I saw something on Facebook the other day that was talking about, like, a cop talking about how he didn't want to have a body cam because he's like, how would you like to be recorded 24/7 while you're at work? Everybody's fucking recorded at work nowadays.
Sure.
There's cameras in every business. You're always on camera. Like, everybody's always going to be responsible in other jobs.
You know what I'm scared of? I'm scared
What?
of the world where the Zoomers become the police officers and they're making reality shows with the body cam footage, but they've installed their own body cam aside, like from the work one, and they're like making TikToks and being like, "Look what I'm doing." That's
I was in a church doing my thing for work yesterday, and there's cameras everywhere. But once I get up to the third floor of the church, you can get up like in the attic space. There's no cameras, but there's a sign that says God is watching you. I was like, all right,
it's more effective than the cameras.
I'm done stealing Coca-Colas.
Yeah.
Dude, that reminds
God's
me.
watching me up here.
Like, speaking of like an attic in a church and God's watching you, I might have talked about this on a podcast before, but I don't know. I had like a threesome one time, and we got out
Attic
like
or
we
addict?
no, we didn't have like we were teenagers, we didn't have our own place, so we ended up going like to like a river and like actually like went to the rocks in the middle of the river to do the deed. But afterwards, it was like 5 in the morning. I was freaking tired. Then we ended up getting breakfast, and then, uh, long story short, I end up at the church when it opens because I had nowhere else to go. A buddy of mine was a pastor there, and I was like, dude, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. One, never ask me what happened last night. And number two, can I please sleep in the attic of the church?
God's
Because if
watching.
I go home, I'm not going to be able to get any sleep. He's like, yeah, man. And I'm just laying up there. I'm like, why did I pick a church to go after that?
It might not be a bad place to go. It might be nice.
Might be the place you need to go after that. Go straight to church.
Sing you to sleep.
I love the special effects going on Diamond's side. Like I said, you guys have really upped the quality here, and the special effects are amazing.
But, you know,
But going back to the body cams,
yeah.
it's my opinion that if you don't have a body cam on, you can't defend your actions at all. And I'm gonna tend to believe the person, the civilian, over the police officer if they don't have a body cam. Period. No matter what. So that's how I feel about that.
It was really weird. Like back in the, I don't know, they might still do this, but you heard about it during all the riots and stuff of
Turn it off.
2020.
Turning it off.
No,
yeah.
of
No.
cops like playing Taylor Swift and the Beatles when other people were recording them.
Yeah. What they do is they play music that will get copyright flagged, and that people are very litigious about, or artists are very litigious about their music being played, and it allows all that footage to be scrubbed off the internet. Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Just like I just imagine I don't know, it's just funny to me, like imagine being in a verbal argument with a cop and just I got a blank space, baby.
I've actually seen some of the footage.
Trouble.
Yeah, I've seen some of the footage where that's going on, and it is kind of bizarre to watch. Because they're absolutely just they know what they're doing. They have it like in their pocket, and they have it queued up on the home screen. It takes them no time, and they just do that to kill the footage.
I knew
Fucking
you
crazy.
were trouble when you walked in.
I actually believe that was the song that was playing in the video that I heard.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe-
funny. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not funny, but it's funny. It's
I mean, it's
Oh.
it's innovative. I'll give them that. But once again, if you are doing your job, there's no reason for you to have to play copyrighted music to try and kill the footage of you doing your job as a public servant.
Maybe
Because-
they're jamming out.
Yeah, maybe they
Doubtful.
really love T Swizzle.
I'm just.
Yeah, no, I know, but yeah, it's like they tell us if you're not doing anything wrong, then you have nothing to hide. So if it's good for the moose, it's good for the mander.
The,
Is
something
that
like that.
one? Yeah, whatever
Well-
whatever the saying is.
We have one lady that trains some of our other technicians, and every time she says, "Act like a camera's watching you." And I've told her before when I trained her, you don't have to act like a camera's watching you if you're doing what you're supposed to do. Just do what you're
Yeah,
supposed to do. Who cares if
Diamonds,
there's a
you don't
camera?
want Diamonds to act like a camera's watching him. He likes to show his ass,
that's
literally.
true.
It is, both of you. You've seen parts of me that people
Yeah,
shouldn't see.
Oh my
yeah.
God, Diamonds. I'm still pissed about the other night. I want you to know that. I'm still pissed about that.
You shouldn't
You know
be.
what? Have you shown Jonathan that picture?
He's seen it in person.
Oh
Oh
God.
God.
No, probably, but
Probably.
it's not that.
It's that.
No, it's those.
Yeah, it's those.
I was
Oh,
like,
I was going to
hey,
forward it to him,
But
I
they're doing a
deleted that
trick.
shit.
They're doing a trick.
it's
though.
totally a trick. Put it up on the screen.
Yeah. Jamie, can we put that up? Jamie, do you have it? Jamie.
But man, you know, out of all those big podcasters like Joe Rogan and his friends, I really want the only one that there's anything I'd like to copy, especially when it comes to their co-hosts,
Oh,
is
excuse
Joey
me.
Diaz.
Oh man, yeah, Joey Diaz.
I want to get
hilarious.
Diamonds like high out of his mind
No, I don't do
on
that.
like billions of milligrams of stuff trying to talk.
Sir, that's illegal.
I don't
No,
do
it's
that.
illegal.
I don't do that anymore. But
But like,
I'm trying to be Andy Richter. I'm clean, and
I mean,
I'm a co-host to a redhead that's kind of goofy.
but you know, obviously, you know, there are no drugs involved in the Confound Millennial because there used to be. I used to be drunk as hell, you know, on the show, and you know, that was the weirdest thing to get back used to. And what's weird is I hadn't done any of that since I got arrested. And when we brought the show back a couple or like last month, I really was having a hard time. I was going back to like, you know, wanted to do some edibles or something before, and I didn't. But like, because, you know, I'm like a year and a half sober now.
Right.
But like, dude, I fucking was having a hard time like doing the show because for some reason I was like having flashbacks to like it was easier when I was drunk, you know? I'm like, nobody knew what the fuck I was talking about in those episodes, though.
I've been in the trenches, but I'm proud to say he's okay. He's gonna be fine.
Well,
We
you know what's always been interesting. Whenever I was on last time, and I was on with Spikel, you know, he's I want to say 13, 14 years sober, and I'm not sure what. But he was an addict, but I'm not sure exactly what his story is. That might be an interesting conversation one day. But I believe he's brought that up to you before.
Yes.
And the end of last year, I went to I was doing a campaign video with the rapper Young Jock, and so we're backstage at a rap show, and of course there's alcohol flowing, and Spike is completely sober, but I'm of course not going to turn down a drink with, you know, some rappers.
yada
So
yada yada.
so I get, you know, I get my they pour me a shot. They ask if I want a shot, and I get a shot, and I take it like a shot because that's what a shot is. You're supposed to take it like a shot, and they said you didn't have to chug that, and I was like, what? I just took a shot, and they're like, here, I'll pour you a drink, and then fills up the cup with straight alcohol. And I'm just back there for a few minutes. I'm getting ready to, my Uber's on the way. Like I'm getting ready to go back to the hotel, and so I've got this entire cup of alcohol, and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm standing there with completely sober Spike, and that's my thought is I'm just gonna walk over here to this trash can on the way out and just dump it. And I'm getting ready to dump this alcohol into the trash, and Spike stops me and goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm gonna throw this away. He's like, what? Why would you do that? That's wasting perfectly good alcohol. I'm like, Spike, you're sober. You're 13 years sober. You're like trying to pressure me into drinking. He's like, listen, I may be 13 years sober, but I'm still a Jew, and you are not going to waste that alcohol. Somebody paid good money for that alcohol, and just like lays into me and pressures me like I'm like, just like trying to like, yeah, just
And here's the thing about sober
Getting your
people
drip on.
too. It's like we fucking love to watch other people get fucked up. We live vicariously through other people.
Well, he got it that night because I chugged an entire glass. It was like a, not the giant solo cup, but the smaller, little clear solo cup, and full of straight whiskey. And I just had to chug it. Trying to get into this
Crying,
Uber.
tears
Yeah, crying.
streaming.
And he's yelling at me like, you better drink it. You better drink it. And the worst part about that is I've been around him 3 times since then, and he's bragged about that every single time. Like, yeah, I made him drink that alcohol, and I'm like,
He
come
gave me
on.
a Jew shame. It's real.
Ever tell you about the time I was drugged while I was doing landscaping? I had
No.
a migraine so bad I was throwing up, and I was going to go home, and my supervisor was like, "Nah, dude, let's just get some lunch. Maybe you need some food, then the headache will go away." So I'm slumped against the window after eating, and he's like, "How you feeling?" I'm feeling pretty good. And he holds up a bottle, points to my drink, and says, what was it? I don't remember. Oh, what's that? What's that pain pill that everybody fucking loves?
Oxycontin?
All of them, I
I
think,
don't
is
know.
what is.
Either
I
way.
believe. I believe we have
Lortab.
we have an opioid epidemic. Obviously,
Lortab.
it's all of them.
I named it.
He points to the
Sadly.
my drink, holds his bottle, shakes it, and says, "Liquid Lortab, baby."
Dude,
I've never heard anybody say that before, so I don't know exactly what was in that. I've asked lifelong addicts, or recovering lifelong addicts, what that might mean, and he's like, he probably dissolved several Lortabs in your drink.
that's horrible. That's horrible. Sounds like my stepmom. I told her I had a headache once. She was like, "Let's just go check in the the drawer next to the bed." And I saw it and I was like, no,
Mm.
because previously I did take one and my dad was shaking me trying to wake me up. Thought I was dead.
Well,
I learned
here's
my
the
lesson.
thing, like, why I'm
Stepmoms are
convinced
bad.
it was multiple or something completely different, because I had Lortabs once for actual reason, hospital stuff with my foot, and dude, I didn't do shit. Like, I don't know if I'm just built different, but like,
Yeah, I
I don't
haven't been
know.
able to quite figure out how people function while being addicted to pain pills. Like, it's
You see, with me, I don't get
baffling
the
to me.
addiction to pain pills because it's never done anything for me. But
I have
that's
a
fine.
theory.
Yes.
So I take Adderall and I know other people want it, but I don't give it out. But it makes them feel excited and like focused and jacked up. What they say, their words.
Sure.
And I also know I quit drinking coffee because I was like, it don't do nothing. So, well, I have a lot of other things there, but let me be brief. So, I've also taken some of those pills that are like painkillers, and it puts me down. But some people get jacked up on them. So, I keep saying so a lot, but I think you'll understand that people have different,
Different brain chemistry.
different brain chemistry, different reactions to these things. So Adderall makes me feel fine and focused. Other people, they feel like they are on cloud nine. Painkillers, same thing. I think it's just a matter of how their mind works, how their brain works, how their
And
blood works.
Yeah,
dosages
yeah.
too, like I'm on Adderall, and the amount that I am on, I I just focus, and I am able to function. But like there's other people that are on like like the people that are selling it or whatever are the ones that are on like 10 times what I'm on, and I couldn't imagine being on 10 times what I'm on. Like,
Yeah, I've only had pain pills once whenever I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and it was, I think, probably Lortab, not sure, and
Oh,
I yeah, I couldn't do anything. Like, I was sitting and I was texting someone and I was having to like really really concentrate, just trying to figure out exactly what I'm saying and how to make the buttons work, and then I realized that I couldn't find my phone.
I came home and pushed mowed the yard. I was fine.
I yeah, so I was out of it. So
you fucking wait.
I didn't
So
have
you're
my
texting
phone.
without your phone.
I didn't have my phone. I was doing this.
That reminds me of one night. I was so drunk, I decided I was going to text somebody with only using my nose. I don't know why. And I ended up texting like a long paragraph. And my buddy was just looking at me like, what in the hell are you doing right now? I'm sending a very risky text.
It's important.
So I feel like all this should be capped off with a disclaimer of, if you're struggling with drugs or alcohol, please reach out to someone who cares about you.
Reach out to us, man.
No, like for real though.
Yeah.
For real. You know, like I mentioned, year and a half, into AA and all that, and some sobriety chips I found the other day. They're actually the earliest ones I
What
have.
what flavor?
What flavor?
Yeah.
Mystery.
Cocaine's Anonymous, Celebrate Recovery, and AA.
Celebrate
Three different
recovery.
flavors. I said flavors.
Oh, I thought you said
Not flavors.
celebrate recovery.
Celebrate Recovery. No, celebrate. Like,
No,
yay.
yay! I've been with you, buddy. I'm here.
No,
We're out of the
seriously,
cardboard corner.
there's groups for any and every addiction you could think of. Find one, you'll find some cool people there. Some of the coolest people I've ever met have been in recovery rooms, man. Like legit, like just the real ones that are in
The
there,
real the
man.
real ones.
Yeah. I
So
met
He's
one
not
guy
me.
that was I'm not allowed to say his name or anything. I don't even remember it. But there was one guy that was in the rehab that he was on America's Most Wanted.
I love that show.
He was a real one, man. But
Um,
Don't tell anybody about me. Stop it.
so I've got a question for you, Sturvin.
yeah.
So I've seen a lot of like rehabs in like TV and film and movies and stuff like that. Now, and they're always just pounding coffee. Is that a real thing?
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's completely
Dude,
accurate.
dude, we
Got to replace it.
and the one I was in and the
Do
rehab I was in was
How
very
do I
much
get to that rehab though? Not to get the coffee. I drink way too much coffee.
Just quit.
I'm gonna need
Just
to
stop.
go. No, no.
There's a way.
Oh, dude, I don't
I
think
did it
there's
with
any hope
coffee. I
for
did
you
it with
there.
cigarettes. I did it with things I don't need to talk about. But just
'Cause,
stop.
dude, we were just pounding that shit all the time, just coffee constantly. And there was one guy in the rehab I was in that roasted his own coffee beans there.
It's a hobby.
I
And so
Stop
we would
talking about me.
we would all beg him in the mornings, like, come on, man, make me a sexy cup. Come on.
Roast
So-
your beans for me.
you guys are both from the south, so you're aware of the having the pitcher of sweet tea in the fridge. I have a tea pitcher that is pre-made. I just go ahead and make an entire pot of coffee. Go ahead and actually it's usually two pots. Get the entire gallon, and then I go ahead and put in my cream and my flavors and have a flavor of the whatever the next couple days,
Flavor of love.
and just I don't make coffee. I already have it ready, so that way I'm just ready to have an iced coffee all day and just drink it in giant glasses. I drink a lot of coffee.
I think you should try the French press. I think you drink less quantity, but higher quality,
Maybe.
higher caffeine.
You know, you were. I have to throw this in here because I meant to ask. I meant to mention something
Sure.
that I realized the other day, but this is not for you, Jonathan. This is for. I believe he might be your cousin. Um, a man named Willie Fred.
Ah, yeah. No,
Can you
he's
pass a
no
message
no relation,
to him?
but I'll pass him. I'll pass the message.
Okay. I realized, I was talking about the show that he used to run,
Hmm.
the Seth and Willie Fred
Hmm.
Steelcast, and I was trying to describe it, and I realized nobody up here knows what the hell a steel reserve is. They don't
That's a
exist
shame.
up here.
Well, they're going to have an even harder time considering the fact that they have, in fact, discontinued the majority of the flavors, including the original and the black can. So, so now it's just a flavored malt liquor.
Wow.
Pineapple and watermelon.
No, they have those.
Oh,
I'm just getting
Yeah.
excited. Look at that look in his eyes. Look at that
I'm
look.
He
okay.
he disappeared into the void for a moment, but uh,
Oh, it didn't do it again.
But no, I wanted Willie Fred to know that. I meant to message him and say
yeah.
that.
So,
But
um, last no, not last month, February, I had Afro Man in town for an event that we were doing to promote the legalization of cannabis. And my favorite part of the entire experience with Afro Man, there's a certain there's a certain mystique that follows him. You know what I mean?
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, but it's my favorite part was not that. I mean, obviously he very much likes his marijuana, but
Can't blame him.
yeah. So he's got that song Colt 45 that has kind of become synonymous with the malt liquor. Like you don't think of the malt liquor without singing the Afro Man song. Most people don't, at least. And he's gotten to the point in his career where he has had someone brew his own private high-end malt liquor that is it's a premium malt liquor. And
Sounds awesome.
it says that right on the can, premium malt liquor.
What's
It's
it called?
called the Cold Frody 5, and you can only buy it from him. And
The cold.
so the Cold Frody 5, and so
Roadie.
he had those at the concert, and they were delicious. It had to be the best malt liquor I've ever tried in my entire life, and I was like, I kept trying to tell people like, oh man, Afro Man's premium novelty malt liquor that he's selling back there is amazing, and they're like, ha ha ha, and laugh like it's a joke, and I'm like, no, it's good. You should, if you want to try it, try it. And nobody believed me, but I love that he's gotten to the point. I love that he's gotten to the point in his life and in his career that he can say, you know what I really want to do? I want to stop. I want to stop promoting this brand that doesn't give me any money. Colt 45 doesn't give Afro Man a dime for singing his Colt 45 song. So he made his own premium malt liquor. And he brings that malt liquor just onto the stage where he's going to perform. And he has a pimp cup that is a custom pimp cup for every single outfit. So that way the pimp cup matches his outfit.
Is it a
And
chalice?
yes, it is. And it is bedazzled, and it has a light up stem. And in the stem, with its flashing lights, he carries his own brand of Delta 8 cannabis that is his own brand that he carries in his pimp cup that is custom to his custom printed suit where he pours his custom high-end malt liquor. That man has found what the American dream is, and he's perfected it. He is an inspiration and a treasure.
He is a treasure. I agree. That's amazing.
I don't know whether to be proud or invite him to a meeting or what.
Yeah, I don't know
He
what you're
should be
supposed
on
to
this
do.
show. Why is this guy on here?
Yeah, can we get Afro Man in here?
Can we?
Kim? Yeah.
Honestly though, for real, one of the nicest, most down to earth, normal people you'll ever meet. But when
Really?
the switch flips and like he's got to be Afro Man, he's balling out with his custom malt liquor and his custom pimp cup.
That's awesome.
I've met people
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I've run into people that may or may not be on this show that I was like, bro, I rarely talk to you, and you're like, yeah, you have a lot. I was like, no, I've talked to your character.
Yeah.
I
You are
met a
two
guy in
different
Auburn
people.
like that.
But I bring that up because I was telling somebody that the other day. I was like, such a good actor, like crazy. I don't even know. It's two people. It's got to be just
Right.
twins playing tag, just run around.
I mean, it isn't. It is impressive for somebody to have a larger than life persona, but then at the end of the day, still be very down to earth and normal, and talk to people like they're humans, and just be a genuinely good person.
It's like being a heel in wrestling.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely.
I can't do it. I've tried very hard, especially with you, to
Yeah.
hate you and dislike you, but it's impossible. I just feel bad. I feel horrible. Like,
I don't
Yeah.
know if you listen to this show much, but Diamond talks shit about you all the time. And he's like,
I
I
mean-
can't say that. I love the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He always says it and then immediately walks it back.
Well, it's not because
Oh.
I'm worried about hurting your feelings, but it speaks something to myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not me. I can't do
Well,
that.
in any of the videos that we made in our younger days, Diamonds,
On my show.
on your show, we would always have to like cut out you being nice to me, and it was easier whenever there was some editing to remove Diamond's.
I gotta
conscience.
hug you.
Yeah,
It reminds me,
Yeah,
when I was saying all the different things about you earlier, like introducing you, I meant to put matchmaker extraordinaire because anybody that's not aware, I met Diamonds through Jonathan, and Diamonds just is like fucking gone now. But whatever.
Psych! I'm listening.
Oh,
I just don't want to have emotions because.
But yeah, you brought me a really good co-host. Thank you.
I mean, for real though, I mean, Diamonds knows this. I think the world of him, and I'm so glad that he's got this creative outlet because I personally feel like Diamonds is way more creative and better at stuff than he'll ever give himself credit for. So
I lose interest. That's it.
Like seriously, like as far as co-hosts go, he's pretty fucking solid. And like,
Shush.
nah, dude, I mean, this isn't like me just or nothing. I'm just saying,
mean-
dude, you're good. Like when I'm about to stall out and don't know what I'm going to say next, and you
Let
jump
me
in.
say something
That's
stupid.
good. Is that a ghost?
I saw the ghost for a brief second, kind of
Well, thank you.
dissolved in and dissolved out.
You can say, hey, come on. No, they can't see you. Go, come in. Hey.
Hello. Now I got to click the do kids appear in this video on YouTube.
Oh, don't. Just cut her out. Go away.
It's a
Okay.
ghost.
It's a
ghost.
It's an apparition. Oh my God, it's back. Go away. Please stop
It's a
trying to
fig
kill
Newton
me.
of my imagination.
Stop it. You're going to get us in trouble. Stop.
But, yeah, we should
Well, thank
probably
you.
wrap this up so Diamonds get back to his family. Anyways,
Well, this has been fun, and I'm glad that we didn't talk about politics a lot because, quite honestly, that's all I talk about right now. So it's been fun to hang out with y'all and good to see my friends. And I really, really hope that because I'm in front of this green screen, that nobody puts anything stupid behind me.
dude, as soon as you came on,
He's
I was
wishing
like, bold
for it.
move. Bold move.
Well, hey, I hate you. I'm just kidding. I love you.
I love you too, Diamonds.
All right, guys. This has been the Confound Millennial, starring Steven Sturvin Michaels, Ryan Diamonds, and Jonathan for Realz. Remember, stay saucy hoe bags and don't vote for shit asses.